So we're actually not far from the Algarve here now, probably about an hour away, and we're definitely going to stay on this site for the night. We had a 5.5 hour drive from Porto all the way down to here, and we decided to just come straight through. We had a little drive around Porto. There wasn't really anything there that we wanted to see. We stopped on the site for the night, and that was okay. And we made our way down. Didn't bother to stop at Lisbon. It's another big city, and we decided we don't really want to be looking in them places. It's not easy to get the vehicle round and park up for a start, and we just figured there's not really anything there that interests us to go and have a look at. So as the weather was changing, and it was absolutely pouring down when we left Porto yesterday morning, and it rained all the way here, well, almost all the way to here. A good 4 hours of the journey was rain, and by the time we got here it was late in the afternoon, about probably getting on for 5 o'clock. We'd been driving around trying to find somewhere where we could actually stay. The site that we'd picked out, that we headed for, didn't look suitable really, and we ended up staying in a car park right on the beach. It was incredibly noisy. The sea was absolutely roaring. It was a surf beach, obviously, and it was quite fierce. It was ever so noisy. It kept me awake most of the night. It was so noisy, which is unusual for me because I'm usually quite a heavy sleeper. But I couldn't sleep with that last night. It was just incredibly noisy. Anyways, we've moved a little bit further away from the beach. It's in easy walking distance, but it's just far enough away for it to be quiet. And I've spoken to some of the guys on this site, and they say it's quiet, it's nice, it's okay. They lock the gate at 5 o'clock. You can get out as a pedestrian, but you can't take your vehicle out after 5 o'clock, and it opens again at 9 in the morning. Well, that's okay. We're okay with that. It means that it's secure. So, we're just going to take a look round now and see just what's in the town. If everything looks cool here, then we'll probably stay for a day or two maybe. Otherwise, just moving on down towards the bottom. Well, here she is, look, in a bloody element. Just done a load of washing and she's hanging it out on a line already. Can you believe it? Look at this. Oh well, I suppose the back of the vehicle makes a half decent closed post. Yeah. Are you happy now?
This is a wonderful moment. I love it.
Oh dear. Right, let's have a look around this site. This is one of the only camper van sites in this area. We're at Sins. We're near a place called Sins. That's S-I-N-E-S, Sins, and we're on a football pitch, believe it or not. It used to be the old football stadium, and it's quite large, and there's quite a few motorhomes on here, and it's €3 a day, so we can get on here, we can have showers, we can have, oh look, that's the way to get around. Yeah, everyone should have one. Mind you, these guys over here have got a good thing going. Look at the old quad bikes. Yeah. Yeah, so we got showers here, and there's a washing machine. €4 to use the washing machine, €1 for a shower, €3 you can stay the night, empty your water, fill up with fresh water, empty the toilet, it's all good. I spoke to another Brit who's been here for 2 weeks now, and well, it's happy days really. So, you know, looks like quite a nice place. We're not far from the beach here. I've got to take a walk down into the town later.
This is a cauliflower.
Yeah, get a bit of broccoli. Cabbage.
Brussels. Brussels. Yeah? Green carrots.
Yeah, if you want. You want the tomato and stuff?
Yeah. Sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll do
It's
it.
alright.
Yeah.
Alright. Do you want tomatoes?
I don't know what you need. I don't know whether we need any.
You want tomatoes?
Yeah.
We've got them.
What
What does it say?
$4.55. So we didn't get a cauliflower.
I couldn't see one.
No. We'll have a look in the supermarket. Okay, so this is our municipal market. Morning. Morning. Good morning. We are still in Porto Covo, and we've decided that we needed to do this little update so that you realise what's going on here. We've actually decided to stay here for Christmas rather than moving on to any further down to the Algarve. Mainly the reason for that is the fact that this is a lovely little village. It is exactly the sort of place that we were looking for to spend some time, because Sue and I both really want to get involved with the culture and interact with the locals, and we found that it's probably better to do that here. We've already made quite a lot of friends, and we're speaking to lots of the locals. The people here are absolutely lovely, and we've made some friends already of the Portuguese people that are living here, some of them, and also other travellers that are coming through the village. And we've done obviously quite a bit since we've been here. The first part of this video, you will have seen what's available to us. It's very basic, very simple, and that's exactly what we wanted.
We didn't know that at the time, did we? When
No.
we first was doing the videos, we thought it was a couple of days.
Yeah,
we were going
when
to
we
be here.
arrived here, we thought, well, this was a nice place to stop before we do the last maybe hour and a half, 2 hours down to the Algarve. But it's just so nice here, we've decided that this is really where we want to stay for the time being. We will be moving on, but not until after Christmas. The locals have a village
Party.
Christmas party, to which we've been invited along to. So that's really nice of them to do that.
Well, it's getting exciting now because we're actually seeing Christmas trees getting into the shops and lights being put up, and it's very different from at home. So
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting to see how they do Christmas.
It's kind of
Yeah.
Christmassy, not quite
No,
like it is
it's
at
not
home,
like at home, I don't
but
think.
but it is beginning to get Christmassy, and we just want to see what it's going to be like, and just join in with that. Being as we've been invited, it would be rude of us not to. So
It seems funny to see the Christmas lights going up, and the sky's pure blue, and it's hot, and the
Yeah.
Christmas trees are going up. But
It's-
that's what it's like.
we
so.
are so lucky that the weather is really good. Don't get us wrong here though, there has been days of rain, and it can get cold as well. And last night it was really cold,
8 degrees.
8 degrees. Okay, you're probably saying that ain't cold. It's cold here when it's 18 during the day. That's a big drop.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've been blessed really. With the sun's been shining a lot of the time. There's clear blue skies. It's not too hot, so we've been able to do things like go for walks. And in the next part of this video, you're going to see some of the walks that we've done, and some of the coastline and the beaches, and they're absolutely brilliant. And then you'll understand why we're staying a little bit longer, because this place has got more to offer.
I think the coastline along just in Porto Covo has got all different sorts of bits that you see along the Algarve, but they've got it all together here, I think.
It's a gem.
Yeah.
It's a real gem, and it's unspoilt at the moment.
At the moment, yeah.
Hopefully it won't get developed like the rest of the Algarve has and get spoilt, because it is just a lovely place. But it is small, and I guess a lot of the local businesses here are struggling a bit this time of the year. There's quite a few of the shops and restaurants and boutiques are actually closed down. They close for the winter season because there's just not enough revenue to pay the staff and to keep it open, so they just close it all down and they come back again in the summer season. At the moment, this place has got a population of something like I think it's about 500 or 600, so it's quite small really, of locals that are living here. In the summertime it increases to about 3,000 apparently. It's unbelievable. They say it gets absolutely packed here with tourists.
Can't imagine that actually. It's difficult to imagine it being full of people.
At the moment, you will have seen from the videos that the streets are empty. There's hardly anybody about, and that's great for us because we're able to get around, look around, and we've been talking to lots of the local people.
Well, that's why they recognise us.
And they've got time for us.
They recognise us because we've been here a few weeks now and we're the sort of resident tourists.
We're probably the only tourists in town.
In fact, we feel like we belong here now, don't we?
Yeah, we do. It's great. So that's really where we're at the moment. There's some more video. I mean, this bit is right up to date. I'll be putting this video out hopefully by the end of this week, so you're pretty much right up to date, with the exception of perhaps we have had something else that's happened since we've been here, but there's another video that will follow this one that will explain all.
Because we don't know what's going to happen either.
But anyway, that's enough about that. That will be in the following video. But that's really where we're at the moment, and enjoy the rest of the video. This is the next bit we've got to negotiate, and the path is there, a bit closer to the edge, down there. Doesn't look like much of a path, but that is it, and we've got to go across the other side and up the path there. Well, Sue nearly took a tumble there, but she saved herself quite well.
Where I nearly broke my neck.
Right. Yeah. And that's obviously the bottom.
This is where we're going to go.
Someone's been building little rock piles down here. When I get down there, I'll take some video of that. I just want you to see the path that Sue's heading for, and you can see just how kind of steep it actually is. It is quite sandy actually, so it's not the best of footings sometimes. We both slipped a few times on the walk. Fortunately we've been alright. Are you there? Right. I guess that signal means it's my turn.
Here he comes. Careful. It's not too bad really. Just have to watch where you step.
Someone has been a little bit artistic here. It wasn't us, I hasten to add. Building little rock piles. Quite good, there's another one down here. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Very nice.
We're daft. Made it.
Eh?
I said you made it.
I made it.
How's the old knee?
With a dodgy knee, yeah. It's not too bad today actually.
No, good.
But I'm being a bit careful with it because it has been playing up. And a walk like this could do no good at all.
We've just got to be careful, both of us. Because if we end up with dodgy knees,
Very careful. It's the last thing we need is for one of us to get hurt. So we're both looking after each other quite well, aren't
yeah. Okay.
we? Right.
Okay.
I guess we probably walked about 7 or 8 miles.
7 or 8 miles, yeah.
Been a nice walk actually. I've enjoyed it.
It was a lovely walk, and it was made extra special because I didn't know I was going to get lunch halfway. I was treated to calamari and chips for lunch in a beach bar because I didn't whinge.
Oh, we've still got the jam butties we made before we came out.
Did I? I didn't whinge climbing up those steep hills.
No.
So I was allowed to have
That's
lunch.
why I treated her to lunch, because she didn't whinge. She whinges up the hills, down the hills, don't want to go. I've got wet feet.
I have got
I
wet.
want to take my boots off.
No, I have got wet feet. I just plodded on.
You didn't whinge.
No, it was good to know that both of us could actually still walk like that because we haven't done proper walking for a while.
No.
So
No. The last proper walk we did was
Cornwall.
Is that Cornwall?
Hard sea
Probably,
walking
yeah.
was
Probably
Cornwall.
Cornwall was the last proper walk.
I think now we've started.
That was a few months ago. So yeah.
We've got to do some more.
We'll be doing plenty more.
That was lovely today, really. And also, it was not cold at all. But it wasn't too hot. It was perfect weather for walking.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Good walk. Thank you. Well, it's a beautiful day. It's mid-November. And look at her, there she is, out in the sea. Loving every minute of it. It's just a beautiful day today. And it makes you glad to be alive. We've met up with a nice couple from England that they're just living in their. They've got a trailer. It's not actually a motorhome. It's more like a home. It's really cool. Mark and Julie, there they are up the beach. There, we're out on a walk with them today. A really nice couple. We're getting on great. Actually, quite nice. Spend a bit of time with other people. But this one's in her element, look at her. The waves are absolutely awesome today. What's this breaking over the rocks there, look.
This one.
And you can see the spray coming off the tops. We've not actually noticed this before. They've been quite strong, but you can just about see the spray coming off the top of those. That's where the wind is blowing from behind us towards the waves.
Yeah.
They're just awesome. Let's take a look at this one. Let's try and zoom in a little bit here. Yeah, they're just amazing. Hold on to this.
This one.
There, look at that.
Wow. Look at that.
Right. It's there's some big ships sitting out there. They're waiting to go into the port at Sines. Just as another point of interest, in 1755 there was an earthquake that actually hit this area. It was about 120 odd kilometres southwest of the Algarve in the Atlantic Ocean was its epicentre, and it had a magnitude of 8.5 to 9 on the Richter scale, and it absolutely devastated Portugal. Most of Lisbon was destroyed. It absolutely destroyed. And Lisbon is about 250, I think, kilometres from here. So it's quite a way. And the shockwaves were also felt as far out as Greenland, which is incredible to be thinking it got that far. And the tsunami was also it also hit the coast of Cornwall, believe it or not. So a bit of history. It's well worth googling that. It apparently was one of the strongest earthquakes ever recorded. So it's yeah, there's an interesting little fact, and it's well worth looking up and reading about it. It's quite devastating. Well, another beautiful sunny day in Porto Covo, and Sue and I are sat outside one of our favourite little spots.
Our daily spot. We come here every day, don't we?
And it's a little cafe, and it's quite nice to just sit here in the sunshine. There's a nice little sun trap here. We're sat outside having a couple of coffees and egg custard tarts. They have fabulous egg custard tarts here. They're really nice. So most days we have a little walk down, we decide what we're going to have for dinner, pop into the market, get a bit of fresh fish, some fresh veg, stroll around the town, and then stop here on the way back for coffee and custard tarts. It's, yeah.
We go round to the Chinese shop most days, don't we?
Yeah.
Because it's cheap.
Yeah, Sue's just saying we go to the Chinese shop. It's like a little sort of mini bazaar place. They've got everything in there. Everything you can think of, they do everything. Apart from food, but there's lots of different clothes. There's electrical goods. There's
Barbecues.
yeah, barbecues, plastic boxes, storage boxes, pillows, throws for the furniture. There's just detergents, bin bags, all of that sort of stuff. They sell everything in there, light bulbs, hardware, just a bit of everything really. But it's a great little shop. It's really cheap. We're pretty much in there every day. It's not the sort of shop that I think most people would go into every day, but we found we just pop in there because we like the people. And we generally come out with something, which is quite good. We bought a little portable barbecue. We was looking for a disposable one, but they didn't have any of those in there, but they did have these very small, what looked like a colander, barbecues, and they're perfect. So we bought from the market that day
It's like a little fire pit, really.
It is, yeah,
Miniature fire
it looks just
pit.
like a little fire pit. So we picked that up and some charcoal, and we'd already bought a couple of sea bream, fresh from the market, and we took them home and barbecued them for dinner. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So today we've been and picked up a squid, a fresh squid, and I'm going to make a salsa. We've got loads of plum. The plum tomatoes are just sweet as sweet. They're gorgeous. Getting through lots and lots of them, and they're cheap as well here. So been picking up some of those, and I'm going to make a nice salsa. That's some red onion and garlic, and I'm going to fry off the squid. And
with Portugal's rustic bread. We call it rustic bread.
yeah.
It's really hard.
It's a sourdough, and it's quite rustic, and it's perfect for garlic bread. Made loads of garlic bread with it, and it's just a nice rustic bread to have for mopping up your salsa. So that'll be lunchtime. I think tonight we're going to have fish and chips. We've got a bit of the sole that we bought a week or so ago that was in the freezer. We only ate half of it. It was so bloody big. Half of it was plenty big enough for the two of us with chips, and we're going to have the other half tonight with chips. We haven't had chips for ages, so that's cool. We have a little walk around the square here now, so you can see this is the central square of the village, and I'll just have a little walk around so you can see. Okay, over there, that's the local church. Sue's been threatening to go there for a Sunday service, but they only actually do the Sunday service at about 5:30, and for the last few Sundays that we've been here, it's absolutely bucketed down with rain, so she hasn't actually managed to get to that service yet. But here we go, and I hasten to point out that although it looks very quiet, everything is, well, most of the shops are open, but there's hardly anybody here. It's just a perfect time to be here, really. All these little sort of small buildings here, they're all little sort of boutique type shops. These ones are closed over here, and they're obviously open in the summer season. Straight ahead of us there, that's the main street through. It's pedestrianised. There's a few restaurants, and it's mostly boutique shops right the way down to the seafront, which you can see right at the bottom of the street. I'll just zoom into that, and there is actually the Atlantic Ocean at the bottom of that street. So I'll continue around this side. As you can, there's some more of these little shops here, quite a few of them. The trees here, as you can see this one here, it's got some crocheted things attached to it, and we were wondering what they were. We've seen them in a couple of other villages that we've been to as well, and we were wondering what the significance is of that. And Sue found out, I think it was yesterday, that it's a form of graffiti. It's an American thing apparently, and people just randomly put knitted things around the trees, and it's kind of like a form of graffiti. Actually, it's quite a clever idea, really. It's not actually defacing the trees at all, but you know, it looks quite cool. There's one here, look. Yeah. I think that some of these trees are cork trees. I think this one here is a cork tree. And those few up there. Anyway, there's the rest of the square. There's another, this bit's sort of pedestrianised as well. right on the opposite side here now, there's the church again, and there's another sort of street down there, goes down to the seafront. There are a couple of supermarkets in town. The better one that we found is actually closed until the end of this month, but there is another one, and it suits our purpose. There's a main town that's about probably 7 or 8 miles from here, and there are some big supermarkets in there, and we have been going in to get other things that we need and bulk stuff, which is easier to carry obviously if we take the vehicle up there, but that's it. So there's Sue sitting over there outside the coffee shop. We'll just have a wander up through here. There's the municipal market where the fish market is, and the fruit and veg. That's really the only two sort of stalls that's on the market. It's quite small. There is space for other things, and we have occasionally seen other sort of people up there. Hi Susie, you alright? We have occasionally seen some other stalls set up in there. This is the post office, local post office, and this is like the central sort of car park area, and the building right in front of us over here is where the municipal market is. It's through that doorway there.